Do you try to avoid your most emotions and pretend that they don't exist? Or you hear all these things about people saying, sit with your emotions, and you just don't understand why it matters? Well, stay tuned, because I'm sharing with you why identifying your emotions matters to you and potentially matters to your business. Hi, I'm Angela, and on this channel, I help you turn your pain into power. And today I'm sharing with you why identifying your emotions is important to you and to your business. If you've been around me for a little bit, you've known that there's been kind of a transition going on here lately, and I have actually stepped into the wind is making my camera move. Okay, I'm outside, we're having construction going on in the house, and all you could hear was all the music going on in the background, and I just didn't think that it was gonna go well for the videos. So now I'm outside kind of winging it. I hope you don't notice that much, but I just am. So anyway, if you have been a part of my channel for a little bit, you know that there's been this transition going on, and I am totally busting the cap off having your niche. If you're a business owner, you understand what that means. But what I want to come across and what I want you to know is that I want to help women who are absolutely passionate, committed, and determined into changing their lives and becoming the best versions of themselves. I don't care if you're an entrepreneur or not. I'm just here to help you turn your pain into power. That's it. So if you come here, I will talk about things business, but I will also talk about regular things, right? Not that business isn't regular, but I want you to know that you have come to the right place if you are passionate, determined, and committed to changing your life, into turning your pain into power rather than being the victim of your circumstances and everything that has happened in your past. Now, I understand, I get it. Things that happen in your past, they're terrible, and you didn't deserve them, and we do carry them around like weights on our shoulders, and we tend to think that we have to carry these for the rest of our lives because, you know, we're told in therapy that you want to cope with these things. Well, I don't believe in coping. I think that that's bullshit, and I think that that's just masking the symptoms and pretending that, you know, we know how to deal with life. Well, in reality, you absolutely can heal 100% from everything that you've ever been through. It doesn't matter what it is that you've been through. I do believe that you can heal, and that's why I'm here, so that you can turn your pain into power. Whether you are a trauma survivor and you're just trying to get into the surviving stage and then the thriving stage, or if you're an entrepreneur and you're wanting to learn how you can turn the stories into buku bucks, and I don't blame you, of course you want to. Who doesn't? Okay, so what I'm going to talk about today is about why identifying your emotions is so important. And I want to talk about this because there's a lot with spiritual bypassing. There's a lot with avoiding and pretending that they don't exist. And I'm going to wait for this plane to go. Last thing that you want to do is avoid or escape, pretend, or bypass your emotions. And I know this because that used to be my thing. If I could run away from anything, that was it. True Sagittarius, if you ask me. But anyway, the point is that you really don't want to do those things. Why don't you want to do those things? Because when you avoid and escape and pretend and bypass, when you get ready to really take on your emotions head on, they are amplified. Okay, so avoiding and escaping and pretending and bypassing equals more intense. Okay, they're going to be so intense, and I don't know about you, but I don't want to relive this shit. Okay, no thank you, and I imagine that you don't either. That's why you're actually here. So the main reason why you want to identify your emotions is so that you're not avoiding them, so that you're not escaping them, and so that you're not bypassing them, so that they're amplified or intensified later on. No thank you. Another reason why you want to identify your emotions is because when you know how to identify your emotions, they are easier to let go of. And I'm going to talk about a whole thing on letting go of emotions, but they are easier to allow them to go through the cycle and to let them go. If you don't know what it is that you're working with, then how are you ever going to be able to identify it later on? For example, the emotion that I have dealt with in the past, and we're not talking about good emotions here. The emotion that I've dealt with the most in the past is actually shame. And I didn't ever understand, that's the wind in the background, just so you know. And I didn't ever really understand what was like going on when I felt shame. Okay, for shame, for me, it's like right there, right in that sacral center, which totally makes sense because that's where shame is. But it would sit right there, but it would also take over my whole body, and then I would completely project it out. Unfortunately, my daughter would be the biggest target of it, and I didn't understand what that actually was. Well, it's because I didn't know what that emotion was. I didn't know what that feeling was in my body, and so now it's this domino effect, right? It's this domino effect where I'm feeling the shame. I don't know that it's shame, and now I'm taking it out on my daughter. I'm yelling. I'm not fully in alignment, and now I'm not producing the work that I want to produce. So it's just this huge domino effect when we're not able to identify our emotions. Now, and I understand this can be so hard. Okay, it can be hard because most of us were not actually raised to identify our emotions. Most of us weren't even allowed to express our emotions growing up, right? Because you didn't feel safe, or even if you did feel safe, the things that they would say to you afterwards could have been, not necessarily what you needed. So then what happens is you internalize everything, and then you have no idea what anything is anymore because you usually avoid it or bypass it, which is huge in the industry right now, is to just bypass everything. I don't know about you, but bypassing has never really worked for me, and letting go has always been a struggle, which is why I do this expansion series called Turn Your Pain into Power. Now, anyway, the main reasons why it's important for you to identify your emotions are these things. And let this helicopter go by. The main reasons why identifying your emotions is so important is because if you don't, they could be potentially amplified and intensified, and you could potentially project these out onto people and not realize what they are. When you know what they are, it's so much easier to identify, sit with, and let go. And this is why it's important to identify your emotions rather than avoiding, escaping, pretending they don't exist, or my favorite one, bypassing. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. If you are not a part of my expansion series, sign up for the expansion series now in the description below. You want to be a part of this 3 free month series. What I do is I go live in my group every week on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I go over how to turn your pain into power, and then I remove the lives within 24 hours. But if you have signed up, you actually receive access to the videos for pretty much as long as I decide to keep them up, which could be forever, it could be months, it could be weeks, I don't know. However, you will be able to have additional access to these videos, so make sure you sign up for them. I'm Angela, and I help you turn your pain into power. I hope that you like and subscribe this video, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will see you for the next video. Bye-bye.